Teaching slides. Example 1. From a presentation on Mishnah and Droginos, a rabbinic text concerning the religious obligations of a hermaphrodite. This series of slides illustrates the gender hierarchy within a household based on religious obligations for each gender. Men are obligated to all the mitzvot. Women are obligated to fewer mitzvot. Some commentators speculate that women might have had fewer religious obligations because they had additional family obligations. Women were subject to the authority of their fathers and, after marriage, their husbands. While male slaves were religiously obligated like men, and female slaves were obligated like women, they were property of the male head of household and subject to his authority. Eunuchs were obligated to the mitzvot like men, yet a eunuch would perform some of the mitzvot with minor variations because of his genital status. Old women, in some cases, had higher status than women of childbearing age. Some women were allowed to perform mitzvot related to burial customs that were typically performed only by men. One author speculated that this was due to the fact that, because they could no longer bear children and had gained wisdom by living a long time, the men who wrote the Mishnah felt they were more like men. The rabbis dealt with people of indeterminate or ambiguous gender, just as we do today. The tumtum had a flap of skin covering the genitals, so their sex could not be determined. Once surgery was performed to remove the flap, their genital status and their gender-based role in society could be determined. Until surgery was performed, they were treated like boys or men, on the theory that it is better to have yet another person performing mitzvot for the benefit of the people. Finally, the androgynos, the hermaphrodite. The rabbinic conception of a hermaphrodite had two complete sets of genitals, one male and one female. Because of this dual sex status, the rabbis required the hermaphrodites to cover all the bases. Sometimes they were required to be obligated like men. Sometimes they were obligated like women. Sometimes they were obligated like other people without consideration of their gender, and sometimes they were obligated in a way that was unlike either men or women.